Almost every American family knows the pain when a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Here tonight is a special man, beloved by millions of Americans, who just received a stage 4 advanced cancer diagnosis. This is not good news, but what is good news is that he is the greatest fighter and winner that you will ever meet. Rush Limbaugh, thank you for your decades of tireless devotion to our country. And Rush, in recognition of all that you have done for our nation, the millions of people a day that you speak to and that you inspire, and all of the incredible work that you have done for charity, I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I will now ask the First Lady of the United States to present you with the honor, please. Rush and Catherine, congratulations. Thank you, Catherine. As we pray for all who are sick, we know that America is constantly achieving new medical.
All right, as we continue, Southern Command, Rush Limbaugh, EIB headquarters. This is it. This is where you do your show.
It really is.
Every day.
There's an ordinance down here in Palm Beach. You cannot work from your home.
Yeah.
And so, which is fine. I need to get, but it is the case. So we built this, and it's like a living room, home, office. Okay, can I do one thing personal? Every time I'm on your show, people ask me what this is. I get emails. What is this?
Right. Your cochlear implant.
Well, yeah, it's a direct line to the West Wing, is what it is. No, these are cochlear implants. I'm deaf. I'm 100% deaf, and I can only hear bionically with these. Very quickly, human ear has 35,000 hair cells each. They determine the frequency and the sensitivity of the human hearing. I don't have any. Mine are dead. They laid down and died. Autoimmune. So I have 8 man-made biological electrodes, or bionic electrodes, that try to do what 35,000 hair cells do. And it's a miraculous thing. If this had happened, if I'd lost my hearing 15 years before I did, it had been the end of my career because the tech hadn't been invented. So it's really fortunate, and I look at it as something to be extremely grateful for.
I remember in that interim time, not to get too distracted, we got a lot to talk about, and I do radio as you do. I do not know how it's possible. Because like most people in radio, DJs, talk shows, I'm cranking that thing up.
Yeah.
You know, and dramatic hearing loss, you know, after 30 years.
I did 3 months
Yeah.
totally deaf. I couldn't get surgery done because I had an infection. So 3 months. So you rely on how your voice feels.
Right.
And you have to consciously tell yourself, when you can't hear, you speak up.
Right.
So you have to tell yourself not to lie. I asked the doctors, if I don't do this, can I speak normally for the rest of my life? He said, no. You will. If you can't hear yourself speak, you'll end up sounding like somebody who's never heard before. So you've got to do the implants. But that's what they are, and they really were a career saver.
Thank God you're still here, going strong. 30th anniversary, which was a big deal for those of us that followed behind you. It's a big deal because you did forge a path for all of us, and we all owe you a debt of gratitude.
Wow.
That's why really I wanted to be here. Explain the Trump phenomenon. Maybe we have a more unique perspective because we both knew him way before he ever thought about running.
Right. Well, I don't think it's hard to understand the Trump phenomenon at all if you are not poisoned, and I use the word like it's kind of an exaggeration, if you're not affected by inside the Beltway or Washington establishment thinking, understanding Trump's easy. It's elite versus real people. It's somebody that is fearless and willing to fight against the things that no Republican has been willing to fight against or defend. He's got an engaging personality. He doesn't offend people. The left thinks he does because they act offended, but Trump just makes people laugh. They can't get over the fact that he's likable because they hate him. They despise him. I saw something that are we allowed to mention competing cable networks? Because you dominate everything. They're just a bunch of cellar dweller pretenders. Little Brian Stelter over on CNN.
Humpty Dumpty.
Is that what you call it?
That's what I call him. Humpty
Actually, he's actually been somewhat nice to me. There are exceptions to it. But complaining that the president's talking too much. The president is in the media too much. I said, these guys demand and pray access. And you know why? Because he's polluting the air. He's lying, he's distorting, and he's not giving us enough time to catch up with him and to correct him. And I just keep going, President Trump. He's dominating these people. He's frustrating them. They've lost their monopoly. The Elizabeth Warren thing, the Pocahontas, proves they can't shape public opinion anymore via narrative. And they are frustrated as they can be about that.
He doesn't need them.
No. And part of the process, part of what's going on here, I believe, in all of this, I do call it abnormality. We're up against psychological disorder abnormality that is disguised as political issues.
And we talk about the media. It's never been this abusively biased.
Well, it's not even biased. We're so far beyond bias. These people are part of the agenda. I think they run it. I think they are the people that orchestrate it, run it, in fact, even give some marching orders to each other. The point is, Trump has just got them bamboozled, and I think part and parcel of what they're doing is trying to demonstrate to themselves they still have the power to shape public opinion via narrative. And it's causing all these people left to get even more and more and more extreme. And I'm just relying on the fact that average, ordinary Americans, like you and I are as repulsed as you and I are by this behavior that they are engaging in, the demands they are making on decent, God-fearing, America-loving people. We are not the problem. And yet we are portrayed as the problem. We're the enemy to these people. It's really scary. What happens if we lose? Go back and look. If we lose in 2016, if they get the House, folks, I'm just going to tell you, whatever Trump wants to do is going to stop. It's going to be paralyzed. It's going to be nothing but, in every House committee that's relevant, inspections, investigations, subpoenas. They're going to go back and try to get Kavanaugh thrown out. It's going to be nothing but 2 years of get even with Trump for having the audacity to win. And the business of the nation is going to be brought to a screeching halt. In the meantime, they're going to try to get rid of the tax cuts. They're not going to succeed at any of this because the Senate is still going to be in the hands of Mitch McConnell. I affectionately call him the turtle. He moves so slow, but he's speeding up now. He's really getting good.
He had a good run there for
but
a week.
But in the end of judicial.
He did on Gorsuch and on Kavanaugh. He was great.
Last program of the year for me. And, folks, I want to tell you at the outset here, to me, this is a very important program. I have very much that I want to say to all of you today, and I'm feeling very pressured. Not pressured. I'm feeling stage fright kind of thing. So much I want to say, and I want to say it correctly. I want to convey my feelings, and I want to do it right. I want to do it to the best of my ability. And I have found in circumstances like this that the best thing to do is not to think about it. Don't make it more pressure-packed than it already is. But it's very important. You all are very important. My family is very important to me. I've had a year now to reflect on the things that really matter, a year to reflect on the things that are completely relevant and important to me. And all of you are in that large